our guests, besides my beloved real life best friend, Lisa Moreau, we've got Chris Scott of the Whistle Stop Cafe. He's also an independence activist here in Alberta and someone who paid a high cost for fighting against government overreach. And then we have Cosmin Dzsurdzsa. He's the managing editor over at True North, Juno, and he broke this story after he put his children to bed last night. He worked to find out the truth about what happened to other people's children in Tumbler Ridge, and most of what we know that has been confirmed about the shooter was discovered by Cosmin. So Cosmin, I'm going to let you take the lead here. Tell us everything that you know so far about what happened in Tumbler Ridge. How many people are hurt, how many people are deceased, and what we know about the shooter.
Right. So it was yesterday afternoon that an alert, a active shooter warning went out to communities affected, including Tumbler Ridge, but also surrounding areas. And I caught wind of that because I got an email flagged by the local MLA, Lauren Dorkson, who put out a statement on the unfolding situation, telling everybody to shelter in place and listen to police instructions. So when I saw that, I immediately started looking into this. Now, it took several hours for the RCMP to report casualties. They reported that number to be 10 dead, including the shooter. A number of these casualties were discovered within the Tumbler Ridge Secondary School where the shooting took place. I believe several dozen other people were also injured and sent to the hospital. Two individuals, including a young girl, were taken by a helicopter ambulance to the Vancouver General Hospital, and two other individuals were found deceased at a home linked to this shooting. Now, originally, when the active shooter alert went out and was blasted to local phones and media across that region, the suspect was described as a female wearing a dress with brown hair. And I believe I'm quoting that. Now, if you know anything about BC, I live on Vancouver Island. Here it's quite warm. It was about 10 degrees and sunny yesterday. So somebody in a dress would be, possible. But Tumbler Ridge is located quite far up north, closer to Alberta, and it was about -1 degrees or around 0 degrees Celsius there. So a lot of questions started to emerge about how the police described the suspect. Now, anybody who was paying attention to this unfold saw several names and potential IDs of the suspect circulate on social media. None of these were confirmed by the police. The police were pretty tight-lipped about the identity of the suspect. One name, Jesse Strang, which seemed to be the most plausible match because locals identified one of the victims, Jennifer Strang, as one of the deceased discovered at the residence in Tumbler Ridge. Now, it was based on that information circulating around that I reached out to relatives, close family relatives of Jesse. I reached out to his grandparents, aunts and uncles. And it was his uncle, Russell, who pretty much almost immediately responded to me. And I asked him some pretty straightforward questions because I was really out to just verify the information we were seeing. The first question I asked Russell was, is Jesse the shooter? And Russell said yes. And then I sought to verify, are you Jennifer Strang's brother? And are you Jesse's uncle? And he said yes. Now, I also asked him whether there were any signs leading up to this incident, to this horrible shooting, that may have indicated Jesse would do something like this. He didn't answer that question, and I think that's understandable. But then I followed up by asking, did Jesse identify as transgender or somebody who represents as a different gender? And he said, yes, Jesse was transgender. So when we got the confirmation from his uncle, that is essentially, we were pretty much settled on the fact that this is the suspect, this is the individual who went on this shooting rampage. Now, that is also being broken by CTV, as I just learned before this show started. So the mainstream media has, at least some of them are reporting the suspect's name as well.
So catching up to your work, and you did incredible work last night.